Welcome to the Alchemy Experience podcast, where transformation isn't just talked about, it's lived. I'm Erin, and around here, we're turning breakdowns into breakthroughs, pain into power, and survival into serious thriving. Whether I'm flying solo or vibing with a badass guest, we dive into all the things on health, creating beautiful relationships, and building wealth. We're keeping it real, raw, and ridiculously empowering. It gets a little juicy, a little bit wild, and super inspiring. This isn't just another podcast, it's your permission slip to evolve loud, proud, and on purpose. Let's go light the world on fire.
But hi guys. Oh my gosh, we're doing it a little different today. We're doing the Alchemy Experience podcast live today because I'm so blessed, humbled, excited to have my girl Latasha with me today. Um and yeah, I'm gonna let you in a minute introduce yourself because I will not do it justice. But I want to give a shout out to Desiree and Jesse Cruz, which I've been giving them shout outs so much because
Yes.
they're my peeps. But
Mm-hmm.
I met Latasha through them. For really we're in a speaker membership together through Jesse, and that's how I originally met you. And immediately you sent me a message like, "Girl, we are connected. Let's
Mm-hmm.
vibe." And so much has unfolded since then. I will give a spoiler alert at the end of this, but there's just been so much beauty in us sort of collabing and lifting each other up. So I do want to give a shout out to them. But you are an author multiple times. You are a
Mm.
mama. You are a badass woman. You are a retreat leader, a leader of women. But tell us in your words who you are, what you do. Tell my world over here in the Alchemy Experience podcast and just my peeps who you
Oh,
are.
hello, peeps. Hello, Alchemy World. I'm so happy to be here. Yes, I am an author, teacher, motivational speaker, book coach, retreat host. But more than that, I'm a beautiful human soul.
Amen.
That's what I am. I'm a child of God. I represent love. And that's what God represents, just love. At the end of the day, in the core of my being, I'm a human.
Hmm, I love that.
Mhm.
I love that. I'm just seeing there's people commenting, so I'm just looking, or I've got some love here. So I just want to make sure
Hmm.
somebody's got something to say, or if you've got a
Yeah.
question, or if you just want to give Latasha some love, make sure you do, because we want to keep this a little interactive. We want to share
Hmm.
who we are, what we're doing. I want to lift Latasha up and all the goodness she's giving in this world, but we want it to be interactive too. So, but yes, you are a light,
Thank you.
a light. So tell us, we're going to keep this just sort of, I mean, we'll go as deep as we want to go, but we're going to keep this
Hmm.
moving in way of, what I see in you right now is a leader of authors, right? That is like your signature thing. You write books, you can punch them out because you've got a story to tell and you know it needs to get out there and you know how to do it quick and put it out and let it hit. And you're leading me through that. You've led a lot of other people through that. So tell us your journey of like how how that came to be.
Ooh, books, man, books. I've been reading books since I was 3 years old. I was a part of a Head Start program. So I learned how to read early and I would read for fun, for enjoyment, for education, but I would also read to escape my reality.
Ooh.
So literally the book in my face, my mom would say, put your nose in a book, regardless of what's going on in your life. Put your nose in a book. And I did. I hid for a long time inside of the books because it was a place for me to be safe and to use my imagination.
Mm.
So when I started writing books, 2017, that was a whole nother level of experience because I could take what's up here in my imagination and I could put it into a space for other people to be able to escape into my world.
Mm.
And that has taken me back to the little girl that I started out as. Like I am the little girl all over again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man,
Yep.
so good. So it's adventure, but it's also self-discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what was writing your first book like?
That was gut wrenching
Mm.
and embarrassing
Oh.
and guilt ridden because it wasn't a fun book. It was the lessons that I learned from my life through therapy, through journaling. I went back to the little girl that was abused. That's what that book was about. That wasn't the fun girl. That was the girl that was the victim
Mm.
that had been touched, violated, um, talked down to, told to shut up, be quiet, don't say anything. That was that little girl. That was the story that I told in that first one, which was hard because people close to me were like, whoa, why do you get that deep? Like you really went in and told all that? I did because I got that out of my heart. I got it out. And once I got it out, I was able to go on and learn, okay, that was a lesson, that was a period. So I was able to clean that out and then go to the next period, which was another dark period. So my writing has been a series of being in the dark, coming out of the dark, and then rediscovering, like you said, self-discovery, discovering another dark part
Mm.
and going deep and then coming out. Like it's not just, oh, my life is great. Like, no, I'm doing good. This is good. Now this is dark.
Mm.
Now this is good. It's lighter. I'm getting there. But now here's another dark part, right? So we're never done writing our story.
Oh.
Never.
How many books have you put out now, including, so this
Ah,
is more, your first one was more of like a memoir, right? Of
yes.
that first
Hmm.
part of your life. And now you've put out some other, quick hits of just
Yes.
how to write your book, those things that you've put out, some
Hmm.
anthologies that you're in, right? Or that you've led.
Uh,
How many do you have out there now?
I think it's 10. I think it's 10. I know there are 3 on Amazon. There's one on Audible, which is an audio book that I didn't even narrate. It's very interesting. It's about
Ooh,
teaching. I hired someone to read it for me. It's pretty interesting.
oh,
And
that's
then I have a bunch of them on my PayHip, which is my site where I put courses and stuff like that. So because I write books in a weekend, like
Mhm.
I don't even really know how many I have written. But if you go to Google, you'll probably type in my name and find like 10 that are available for you to purchase. But the way I am now, since I've been publishing for 8 years, I don't make everything available to everyone because some
Ooh.
people don't need my story, right? Like some people need the teacher part of me.
Mhm.
So I share with them the teacher part of me, the teacher book. I wrote a book about parenting. Some people need that.
Mm.
I wrote a book about self care. Some people need that. I wrote a book about, my life, the memoir. And then
Mhm.
I've written books about journaling. And so, really, every book has a different audience, and every audience has a different problem that they're trying to solve. So many of my books, and people get frustrated with me about this, but I don't care. Um, Many of my books are no longer on Amazon,
Mm,
and there's lots of reasons behind that, which I share in my courses for my authors.
mhm.
But you don't have to make your books available everywhere because they're not for everyone.
I love that.
So, mhm.
It's so interesting. My mind is just going through all these things, today. Because we're both running retreats. Yours, I do want you to talk about that in a few minutes,
Yes.
is geared towards the author space. Mine is geared towards, women empowerment, women in entrepreneur space, or women that are just feeling so boxed in what they're doing, right? Maybe they don't even want
Yeah.
to start a business. They just want to bust out of like this role they've been in for so long and
Mhm.
have a transformation. And that's really what you're doing too, is helping people transform, kind of what's all in here out onto paper. But I had conversations with a couple women today, about the retreat and just about things. And one was like, I love what you're doing and I want to be a part of it, but this isn't for me. Like the retreat isn't for me.
Yeah.
I've already reinvented myself. And I'm like, absolutely, just share with who you think it might be for because you're in such good positive
Yeah.
circles, right? And for her to identify that and for me to say, yeah, like this isn't for you, but I know people it might be.
Mhm.
So that was a beautiful conversation. And then I had somebody else that was like, I really want to come to your retreat, like just sent me a message and I said, let's talk
Yes.
about it. And then as we got to talking, I'm like, you're not there yet,
Uh-huh.
and as much as I want you to be there,
Yep.
this isn't. So the other woman was like, I've already done this work. Like, this isn't for me now. And
Yeah.
it won't be. But the other woman is like, it's not for her yet. Right.
Right.
And so we're going to do some coaching first to try to like get through some of the other pieces because she needs to get through some of this survival piece to then be able to
Mhm.
reinvent. Right. And it's
Yep.
just kind of knowing where you're at of
Mhm.
and being able as a leader to say, this isn't for you, but this is.
Ooh, I love that.
And I love your take
Mhm.
on that in the book space, right? The story space. Like you saw that I wrote this book. This is cool, but this book's more for you, not
Yep.
this. And you
Mhm.
being able to navigate that for people because you're leading them to the right story that you had.
Mhm.
Just so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
But I love that. I love that. I love taking ownership and saying, I get to choose what's out there in the world.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
it's so good. So good.
Yeah.
So are you currently writing a book right now?
I am. I'm writing my second memoir.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's exciting.
My second memoir picks up where my first one left off. Because it's the first memoir started with my childhood, which there was a lot of trauma. And then it goes into me working through the trauma. And it stops where I'm married and I'm living happily ever after.
Oh,
Okay.
girl.
It leaves you like, oh, she's great. She's got the American dream, the house with the spouse, the cars, the kids, the dogs, everything's great. But then no, it wasn't great
Just kidding.
because now, there's a whole nother life after divorce.
Mm,
And so I'm digging deep into what led to the divorce and then the other relationships after the divorce. And
mm,
what did you learn about yourself as a woman attracting bad behavior, attracting abuse,
mm,
attracting things that you think are normal, but you learn that these things are not normal,
mm,
right? So this second memoir is like the real memoir. The other one was like a practice,
mm.
which is the same thing I say about marriages. My next marriage will be the real marriage. That was a practice.
I love it. I love it. So, gosh, that's so good. It's sort of like surface level, right? Like this is what I experienced and I've arrived. And it's funny, like in the career space, I always thought like once I get to that next level, once I become a manager, once I become a supervisor, I've arrived, right? Like all will be well. And you get to that space and you're like, what? like where's all the rainbows and butterflies? Like,
Yeah.
no, it's just more deeper shit that you got to
Yep.
work through. And
Yep.
yeah, that first one was you kind of diving into your childhood and adolescence, and then like, oh, my adulthood's great now. But then it's like, oh wait, is it?
Really?
So you're like, this isn't the life I actually want. So let me go
Hmm.
after the life I actually want. And now you're writing about that part of that season of your life, which is so cool. I can't wait to read that one.
Yeah, it's good. It's so good. I have a ghostwriter for this because it's too emotional for me to sit down and even think about because I would break down in tears every time. And my ghostwriter is a male, so he's got a very logical, analytical brain, and he's stick to the facts, ma'am, stick to the facts, just the facts. And then he creates the story around the facts, and it's a perfect situation because I'm like, yeah, I can tell it, I can talk about it. It's a different thing to write about it. So he's doing the writing, the heavy lifting, and I'm doing the telling.
That is such amazing. Okay, so I want to back up a bit because I sort of knew that you were doing that, but I didn't know that depth of it, which is so
Mm-hmm.
interesting because I actually just put out a podcast episode this week about journaling and how, journaling is a tool, but it's also a necessity because we got so much swirling around, we got to brain dump it out, right?
Yep.
And it's one of the most simple tasks we can do for our mental health, but it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like breathing. Sometimes we're in the midst of some really hard shit and it's
Mm-hmm.
like breathe and
It's
it's so
like,
hard. Yes, it's like you got to remember to breathe. And that's like simple. It's the most simple thing we can do as humans, but it feels really hard sometimes. And I think a lot of my clients that I work with, like teaching them how to journal is it's wild how it can take some people
mm-hmm.
months just to
Mm-hmm.
get into a practice of journaling. And it's different for everybody, but there's a basic skill to it of just being able to sit and let yourself wander and be free and have no shame or judgment around it. So that's so interesting, and I'm so glad that people are hearing this because in my world there's a lot of mental health folks, right? And being able to speak your story and hear somebody translate it and what they're hearing, that's so beautiful. So
It's
I just want to
amazing.
hear that, right? Like
Yeah.
therapy, coaching, sitting in a room with somebody. Like I just had a client before you and he was talking and then I said, I'm going to repeat back what I just heard,
Ooh, that's powerful.
right? And I was able to repeat it in the same words and then add my 2 cents of what I heard. And he was
Mm-hmm.
just like, huh. So it was sort of
Yes.
moments, right, as a ghostwriter to have somebody do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're thinking about writing something and you have a story that's so powerful, it's so deep, but there's fear to share that because you're not sure how to express it, lean into your world, reach out to
Yeah.
Latasha. Not only is she going to guide you in the space of how to write your book in 5 days, but also
Mm-hmm.
the people that are in your world that can support them through some of those other blocks and barriers, right? That's such a beautiful part. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Right?
It's gonna be fun. And I want your listeners to know, all y'all out there listening, either replay or live, Coach Aaron and I are similar. If you come to us, we have a conversation. If I'm not the coach for you, I know tons of coaches who could help you. Like we are well connected to people, and we're not going to take your money just to have you in a program. Like
Yeah.
that's not what we want. We want you to have the right process at the right time for the right reason,
Mhm.
and we want to meet you where you are, and we're going to connect you with people who can support you. And you can be honest. You don't have to come into a room and cover things up. Because I did that when I was in therapy. I've
Yeah.
been in therapy for 20 years, but when I was deep in it, at first starting, my therapist was like, "Where's your journal?" And I was like, "Oh, about that." She's like, you need to start writing in your journal again. Why did you stop? And I had all these excuses. Well, I'm busy. I have the kids. I just started teaching. Well, we just moved. Well, this happened. And it's like, she said, no, just cut to the BS. Like go to the store, spend $2 on a journal, get a pen and start writing. And I was like, what do I write? Write your triggers,
Hmm.
write what bothers you, write what makes you happy, write who's in the room when you're
Yeah.
happy. Like you got to start paying attention to what's going on with you. Because I was so disconnected from my feelings,
Mhm.
my heart. I was just doing, and not being. And so she really called me out, poked me in the eye, and was like, "Stop performing and just go get your journal and write in there, and then come back and tell me what happens."
Mhm.
And it was within like a month. I come back and I'm like, ooh,
Transformation.
breakthrough.
Yep. Yep. Amazing. It's wild what these most simple things can do, right? And I think that's huge for the peeps in my world to hear. And I do want to go back to, as we were talking, I got on a call with you, maybe a month or so ago and was just like, hey,
Yeah.
tell me about what you're doing. Let's connect. And you were like,
Yes.
okay, I think, and I said, do I need to do this? You're like, no, let's just get you in it, live this small little package and see what's going on. Because a lot of times, working with the client earlier today, he's like, well, I want this and this. And I'm like, bro, you're like on step 10. You just gotta get to step 2, dude. Like, come on, back up the train, and I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
We need somebody to be that mirror. And when you can find somebody that can say, you don't need it this way. And that's like this client earlier to or this woman earlier today, this old colleague of mine was like, I want to come to the retreat. I was like, let's talk more. And I said, you're not ready for that. Right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have you spend this and time, energy, money into something that like it's going to crash your nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we need to do first. And you and I
Amen.
are just such good leading examples of that. We lead ourselves through the
Mm-hmm.
process. We create we create ourselves, we recreate
Amen.
what we need to, and then we share it with the world, messy, raw,
Mhm.
real, which is like
Yeah.
we need more of that, right?
And we co-create. We're not afraid to co-create. Like you and I met. How much time happened between when we met in the Zoom room and then when we were on a call?
Oh
How
my gosh, it
fast?
was like a few days. It was literally a few days. You were like, girl, like I see you. What's up? And I was like, hey, let's
Yes.
like connect. And then we just hopped on a call to just get to know each other. And I think
Yeah.
that's the piece too. A lot of times people are looking for something they don't even know what they're looking for.
Hmm.
And deeply it's just connection. Right?
Amen.
And I think that's the piece you and I already sort of have on lock is that
Yep.
we know we want connection, we know how to get it,
Yep.
and we go seeking it. And when it doesn't feel right, we're like, okay, cool, let's move
Hmm.
on, right? And we don't need to make huge waves, but we can share the experience. And you're doing that through story, you're doing that through books, and you're
Mm.
helping other people lean into that, which is just so cool. I love it. And so this the book? So you're writing this book and then you have a retreat coming up.
Which is another book.
So it's a whole nother book. See, guys, you can do it all.
That's another book that I'm writing with other authors. And when that book drops, ooh, we will be in Tokyo promoting that.
So this is an anthology.
Yes.
Okay. So in anthology, I had the blessing of being in Warrior Women with the leading author Des. And that was like such a cool experience.
Hmm.
And we launched from a cruise, and you're launching from a cruise this
Yes.
anthology. So like you can do these things, guys. Like it feels
Yes.
really hard and a big undertaking, and it is. It's energy, it's time, it's money, it's all
Yes.
the things. But when there's a calling and a pull to do it, and you sold this out.
Amen.
You sold out
Amen.
this cruise
Amen.
with men and women that want to
Yes.
tell their story in a snippet.
Hmm.
So an anthology, for those that don't know, because it was really kind of like new to me when I got involved with this, when Des was like, hey girl, I think you should be a part of this. I was like,
Hmm. Let's do
what?
it.
Yeah, so it's just each of us have a chapter, and it's a conglomeration of our
Mhm.
stories together that have a theme, right? And the War of
Amen.
Women was just like these life lessons. And for you, you guys have a theme and it's going to come out.
Hmm.
It's going to be so powerful. And you had this
Hmm.
vision of being in Japan.
Yes. Yes. Let me tell you the message behind that and the story behind that. When I was about 10, I used to have this globe, right? You know how you in the class in the social studies classroom, you have the globe and you can turn it. Well, I had one of these. I don't know if it was a ball or if it was, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was the world in my hands. And I would look around and I would watch the news and my mom would say, "Why are you paying attention to the news?" Because I was so young. And I would say, Mom, I just want to know what's going on in the world. She was like, wow. She's like, you're such an old soul. So I would go on this globe and I would circle places where I wanted to go. And it was always like Great Wall of China, Hong Kong, Mount Fiji, like these temples, these waterfalls. I wanted to see these things, beautiful natural environments. And I always wanted to do it. And then life got in the way. And so I wasn't able to do it. And then the pandemic hit and we were locked in. And so my first anthology was the one that I hosted was a group of teachers and we wrote a love letter to our students who were on Zoom school. And we talked about our personal struggles. And basically it was like, you're going through this, the world is upside down. But guess what? When we were young, the world was also upside down. So we want you to know what happened then. And we want you to think about that. And we want you to still keep reading,
Yeah.
keep learning, right? So that was our anthology. It was like 9 of us teachers. And so now here we are 5 years later. This is my second anthology. So I'm not working with teachers, I'm working with authors. And so it is 5 years later, post pandemic, sort of. What are you doing now
Mm,
as an author to guarantee that you're successful? And let's look at the last 5 years. Where have you been? What
mm.
have you done? What are you still doing? And so for us as authors, we have a goal to go global. So we are promoting this book worldwide. And so we are going to one of my bucket list places.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, and we're
Oh,
going to do this.
like you literally, as a child, I can like picture you like with your holding
Yeah,
a globe, and now you're like as an adult holding the globe. Like it's just
yes, yes,
that's amazing.
we're doing it. We're doing it. And we're co-creating together.
Mhm.
And I'm with people who are so successful and creative and just leaders.
Yeah.
And so people will open this book and they will learn how to become a successful leader in your own life. We're sharing our rituals, our daily routines, what we read, because we consume material too. So we're putting that in there. This is what we read.
Mhm.
This is what we do. This is who we are. And it's all intentional. We didn't accidentally become successful authors.
Yeah.
Like this is work.
Yes.
And so we're taking you behind the scenes and letting you see what we do every day. And a lot of it is really messy.
It. I love it. I just want to pop in. I'm looking and seeing. So we've got Rachel on, we've got Jesse on. Hi, guys. Thank you for being here and supporting us and listening to us. Our fearless leader, Jesse Cruz. Don,
Yes.
he said, yo.
Yo.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I think all of this is just, it's inspiring. I think what I want to let my people know is that it can be intimidating as much as inspiring,
Yeah.
right? So there is an element in connecting with you. You know, I look up to you. I adore you. I think you're doing remarkable things, and there is something incredibly inspiring and also in some level intimidating, right? Like here's this
Yeah.
woman who's been a teacher, who's been through life lesson after life lesson, who's written at least a dozen books,
Yeah.
right? And just it's like, I don't do I want how do I react
Yeah.
to her? But also like, am I good enough? Right? There's that fear and that
Yeah.
imposter. And I just want you guys to know that take a chance, get on a call,
Mhm.
just connect. If you have a story and you've had this little seed in planted in your brain of like, I kind of want to write, and whether I publish it or not, I just want to do it. Connect with Latasha, you know, and it might be that she says, hey, just start writing and follow me, and here's some tidbits. Maybe
Yep.
my book, pick up my ebook on how to write, and then reconnect with me in a
Mhm.
couple months and see if you're still, or it might be
Yeah.
you got something good and we need to get this out. Let's move the process, right? But
Yes.
take a chance and just connect. So reach out to Latasha, even if it's just being in her world on Facebook or Instagram and
Mhm.
following you, do that. And then if and
Mhm.
when there's a bigger spark, reach out and work with her in whatever capacity
Mhm.
feels right. Because I have to say that, you know, in meeting you, a lot has transpired in my life, even in the last month, but let alone in the last, you know, year or two. And you, if I had met you a year ago, I don't know that I would be able to have felt this alignment, right?
Mhm.
In the last few months in my life of us connecting, there's an energy that I have been able to feel into connecting with you in a different way.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to say, you know what? I just want to be in your world more. And I have a story that I want to tell. And I have these ideas and these thoughts that I've been writing for a couple of years. So this is a spoiler alert, guys. So I
Yes.
said to Latasha, let me just pop into, you know, your writing challenge. And so I
Mhm.
joined your writing challenge for 5 days. And let me tell you guys, it was not easy. I
Yes.
had to work my life around it, but it was so freaking powerful. The people in that group, I literally have been on calls and Zooms with
Yes.
in the last couple weeks. We are connecting. I have gained a client from that. I have finished my book from that. And more to come on that. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a
Ah.
so much has transpired, and it has been such a beautiful blessing to have worked with you. And I just can't wait to see where all this goes. So I am so excited for you because I think more of the people in my world need that 5 day challenge because they need to put their story on paper, even if it's not um published, even if it's just, I need to just get this out of me. And there was something really
Mhm.
freeing when I hit the period and finished the book. Now, yes, I'm in edited version right now, but there was something so powerful about like, oh my God, I did that. And it was me, but there was being in that container with you. You started off the whole week by saying, some of y'all need to parent yourself. And then you paused, and I was like, she's talking to me. I was like,
Yes.
and it was an aha moment, raw and real. And
Yes.
like, I was a little annoyed, but I was also like, I hear you. All right. I got to work on that. And it was such a powerful moment. And I want to thank you for that. I think it has really, really catapulted me into a new level version of me, just being in that container and the people that you brought together from all walks of life. It was really cool seeing men,
Yeah.
women come into that group. So if you're somebody looking to write a book or you've written it, but you're not sure what to do next, reach out to Latasha,
Mhm.
join her 5 day challenge,
Yeah.
uh, or just like connect and see what's next for you in her world. So I'm just so grateful for you and for this
Mm.
journey. So
Yeah. I'm excited that we met. This is beautiful. It's amazing.
Mhm.
I want to tell the audience, for those of you that are listening to this and you're like, that's me, comment below this video and I will come after you. You
Do
don't
it.
even have to reach after me. I like
Yeah, yeah,
just express interest
yeah.
and I will come get you and get you on a call because everyone comes to my coaching call and they say, "Can I tell you something that I've never told anyone before?" And I will say, "Absolutely. This is a safe space. And if you want feedback, I'll give you feedback. If you don't want feedback, I'll just take it all in and listen." And so if you're listening to this and you're like, "Oh man, she's talking to me," you don't need any more confirmation.
Mhm.
You don't need any more validation. Whatever's making you do this, she's talking to me. Like you just need to comment below and say whatever you want to say. I'm coming after you.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, and if there's questions, write something in the chat, even if it's once we're done, feel free to just let us know, hey, this was resonating, hey, this was cool, hey, this was interesting. Give us some feedback. I see here, no, there's no questions right now, but if there's anybody on that we can do a little bit of interaction here. I'm just kind of looking, um, not seeing any other questions, but give us some likes, give us some
Mhm.
love, and feel free if it's something that feels uncomfortable in the general public to say anything,
Yes.
right? Feel free to message us privately.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is writing and getting your story out, even if it's just for you. This has been something that Latasha has been pivotal in letting me own that in my own way, and
Mhm.
step into that with peace and permission and not, judgment or shame around it. So it's
Mhm.
been a really cool experience. Hi, Kanisha. I'll watch this a little later. Okay, cool. So yeah, I
Tanisha.
think peeps, I think like this is just I never looked at writing in the last, doing that 5-day challenge was hard because it's a challenge, but it was
Yeah.
really a pivotal moment in challenging myself to dig a little deeper and to allow myself to just say what's coming to my mind,
Mhm.
be real and raw with it. So, oh, Ada's on. Hi, Ada. Thanks for the love. We're just chatting about our book writing, girl.
Yeah.
What a
I'm
journey.
so, and you know what? Even this episode, this podcast episode, you and I were supposed to do this weeks ago, but the timing wasn't right. We had things happening, the space had to be cleared. And so, what I want to say to everyone, especially entrepreneurs, um, there are some entrepreneurs out there who are in survival mode.
Amen, girl.
Okay. And I'm a teacher, Erin is a social worker. We are in the helping professions. So we know what it's like to be in survival mode, and we are trained professionally to help people get through that survival mode. And I want to just say one of the fastest ways for you to get out of survival mode and calm your nervous system down is to get a pen and a paper, and it's free. Like you don't have to pay for that. Sit down, start writing. Your nervous system will thank you, and you can move on about your day. You can tear it up and put it in the trash.
Mhm.
There are people that I know you're listening, and you have been punished for the things that you've written in your journal, right? I was punished when I was a kid and I wrote that my mom was the B word. And then she found the journal. Actually, it was a diary and it had a lock on it. And I named the diary Monique. That was my diary's name. And she kept all my secrets. I didn't even tell my best friend some of the stuff that I told Monique because it was that personal. I didn't want it to be used against me. So I know that there are people listening who have had things written. You've been violated. People have read your words, they've used it against you. It's just one of the things that people do. It's okay. You can throw the stuff in the trash if you want to, you can burn it. But what I will not allow you to do is to continue with all this stuff bubbling up inside of you and not writing it down on paper.
Yes.
There's just no excuse. No excuse.
Parent yourself.
Yeah, like we shouldn't have to be telling you, go sit down and write.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
have to tell yourself, oh, I'm feeling this way. I need to sit down and just write it out,
Yeah.
right? How many of you go to the grocery store with a list, right? Like if
Yeah.
you don't go with a list, what happens?
You're all over the place, right?
Yeah, you're just like, oh, if you're traveling, like how many of you sit down and think about what do I need for this trip, especially if it's a long, like we're going to Tokyo. Like I have a whole list of stuff for my people, right?
Yeah.
And I've already mailed them some things that they can take with them on the trip because it's a long trip. So we have to have a list of things that we need for the trip,
Yeah.
right? How many of you write down what bills need to be paid?
Hmm.
It's getting ready to be the first tomorrow,
Full
y'all.
spreadsheet, right?
You better have a list of priorities. This got to be paid first. You better pay your rent first.
Yeah. So Ada just said, I use letter writing as a tool with my grief clients and then we burn it. Yes. Yes, that's
Ooh,
something I do too. We actually do this at our retreat. We have a whole burning ceremony. I'll share what I do is a
yeah.
part of the retreat. One day, the first day of the retreat, we write a letter to a past version of ourselves. We decide whatever version that is. We write a letter from the version now of where we're at, what they had to go through to get here, the shame, the judgment, the guilt, all of those things. We write a letter. And
Yeah.
then the next day we do a workshop. And at the end of that, we burn the letter.
Yes.
And it's such a powerful mindset shift
Ah,
because you're literally seeing that old version of you go.
yes.
We're giving it permission to to release the old and step into that new version of you. It's such an amazing process. And you're so right, Ada. Like it's a physical representation of like burning that down and rising from the
Mm,
ashes. And it's such a cool process. So writing is so powerful.
yeah.
So powerful. I love this. I love this so
Yes.
much. I want to thank you so much. How can we find you? I know your social media is vast and wide and you have a lot of different platforms, but
Mm,
where do you hang out most?
yeah, I would love for y'all to Google Latasha Jimerson and just watch all my stuff pop up because I am obnoxious when it comes to creating content. So go to Google and see my content and then follow me on Facebook and just follow me on Facebook. If you're a follower, I'm gonna come get you.
And in the best way, right?
I'm coming to get you.
You did not come in and be in my face of Aaron, you got to do this, you got to do this. Literally, I came to you, right? Like you were like, "Hey girl, when can we hop on a call? I just want to hear what you did." And I'm like, "Oh, she's got me. She's got me."
Yes.
And then built a relationship quickly. It was so quickly. It was like within a couple months, we
Yeah.
were just like connected, rooting for each other, texting on the
Yes.
side. Like there was moments where you're like, proof of life, like,
Yeah. Where you at? Where you at?
yeah,
Who you
right?
who
Like,
you with?
yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna just pretend that you like vanished off the earth and I'm okay with it. Like proof
Mhm.
of life. So it was really, really great that you did that. And that just made me feel safe and valued in like, okay, this is the connection I want in my world. And watching you grow even in the last couple months, just like
Yeah.
what you're doing. It's fascinating. The human behavior, human mind is just fascinating. And seeing you rock it is so cool. And I've only known
Mhm.
you for this bit. So
Yes.
Yeah, she'll come find you, but in all the best ways.
I'm gonna find y'all and I'm gonna get you into the 5 day challenge because I want you to compress time because it took me too long. I was pregnant with my book for 12 years. I was pregnant. So I don't judge. I don't judge when I see y'all going through writer's block. I
Mm-hmm.
don't judge. I'm going to give you a nudge, but I'm not going to judge,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
you
I
will.
see
Yep.
you. I see you procrastinating. When I tell people to get on my calendar, it takes them 2 weeks to get on my calendar. I'm like, I see you. You procrastinating because I did it too. And then after you book the call and you pass the imposter syndrome part of it, not no, you pass the writer's block, you pass the the procrastination, then the imposter syndrome comes
Sure does.
because now you're like, okay, I'm in the 5 day challenge. I have a book. I'm halfway done writing it, and then you're stuck again. And I see that, and I'm coming after you. I'm like, what happened? And then you're like, oh, I don't know.
Life is lifing, and this
Uh-huh.
suddenly become a backseat, right? And it's like
Uh-huh.
you gotta keep it in the forefront. Yes, so true. And sometimes we just need a coach to help us
Mhm.
do that, right? Like if you're wanting to
Yeah.
improve your skill in baseball, right?
Yep.
You might be talented. I had this conversation with my kids the other day, and I keep saying it, so something I need to learn. But talent is only going to get you so far.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta put in the work. And so that's why people hire coaches and they'll spend a lot of
Mhm.
money on, hitting
Yeah.
coaches and pitching coaches and all the things, like invest in the soul too.
Mhm.
And get that story out of you. And whatever happens after happens. So amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing, amazing. So follow Latasha on Facebook. She's got challenges. She's got amazing books to help you from just to listen to her story and feel motivated and inspired to really tips and tools and tricks of different things. If you're in the teaching field, if you are writing, whatever it is, she'll gear you towards what you might need right now in your life in this season that you're living in, and then just follow her to, at the very least, for inspiration, but
Yeah.
also on various ways to work with you because you're a powerhouse, Mama.
Mhm.
I'm proud and blessed to
Yeah.
be in that space with you. So amazing, amazing,
Thank
amazing.
you.
So we're going to wrap up because, like I said, it just flew right by.
Mhm.
But what I want to ask, and I ask everybody at the end of all these interviews I have, is if there's one nugget, one sentence, one phrase, one thing that you want to leave my peeps with today, what would that be?
Ooh, no matter what happens, no matter who leaves you, who
Mm.
joins you, whatever, keep writing.
Oh, that's good because you have
Mhm.
been through the ringer.
Keep writing. No one can ever take away the things that you document in your life in real time.
Mm,
Because regardless of people who try to say it didn't happen, your journal says that it happened.
mm, that's good.
Mhm.
You know what I've been turning my some of my content into is a journal. And you can probably see that shift over the last
Mhm.
couple months, really, but the last year or two, you can see
Yeah.
that ebb and flow. And I'm really feeling and leaning into that.
Mhm.
And I love that. I love using the platform in that way. So
Mhm. Yeah.
share your thoughts with us, you guys. Feel free. So thank you. This has been so beautiful. This whole podcast will relaunch in about 2 weeks. So I will be blasting your social media again with this in a couple weeks. I love doing that. I love when we blast it once and then we can recapture it again because it'll feel different. It'll hit different.
Mhm.
So be prepared for that. In the meantime, you can watch it here on, the book face. And then
Yes.
reach out to us. But thank you, Latasha. This has been so good.
Welcome.
And we will catch you guys on the flip side, and I will talk to you soon, my love. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Alchemy Experience. If this episode lit something up inside you, go ahead and share it with someone who's ready to rise too. Be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with me online on all social media at the Alchemy Experience. Because transformation loves company, and together we all rise. And hey, don't just survive this week. Thrive like you frickin' mean it. Let's go let it up. Talk soon.